World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day, I am Peñano with today's World News in 5. Dozens of people were killed and more than 100 injured after a massive fire broke out at a crowded bar during New Year's Eve celebrations in the Swiss ski resort of Grants, Montana. Police say the blaze started shortly after 1:30 in the morning at a popular bar packed with partygoers, many believed to be young people. Swiss President Guy Parmelin called the incident one of the country's worst tragedies. Authorities say the fire appears accidental and not an attack, but investigations are ongoing as victims from several countries are still being identified. In our news, Russia and Ukraine exchanged accusations of targeting civilians during New Year's Day attacks as fighting continued into the holiday period. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia launched more than 200 drones overnight, striking energy facilities in 7 regions. He warned that delays in air defense deliveries were putting civilians at risk. Meanwhile, Russian officials accused Ukraine of carrying out a drone strike on a hotel and cafe in Russian-controlled Kherson, killing at least 24 people. Moscow described the incident as a deliberate attack on civilians, a claim Ukraine has not directly addressed. Kyiv maintains it only targets military and energy infrastructure, while reporting continued civilian casualties from Russian air strikes. The exchange comes as international efforts led by the United States continue to seek an end to the nearly 4-year conflict. Several people have been reported killed as protests over worsening economic conditions intensified across Iran. Iranian media say at least 3 protesters died and several others were injured after clashes erupted at a police station in the western province of Lorestan. Rights groups also reported fatalities in other provinces, including Isfahan and Charmahal and Bakhtiari. Authorities confirmed 1 death, while security forces blamed what they described as violent demonstrators for the unrest. Rights monitors, however, accused security forces of using lethal force against protesters. The protests began earlier this week after shopkeepers and merchants demonstrated against soaring prices and a sharp drop in the Iranian currency. The government says it is open to dialogue even as security operations continue nationwide. 7 people have died and 96 others were rescued after a migrant boat capsized overnight in northwestern Gambia. The Defense Ministry says the vessel, which may have been carrying more than 200 passengers, overturned near the country's North Bank region and was later found stuck on a sandbank. 10 of those rescued are in critical condition as search and recovery operations continue. The incident highlights the dangers of the West African migration route to Europe, one of the world's deadliest paths for migrants. Venezuela has released 88 more detainees arrested after protests that followed the country's July 2024 election. The New Year's Day release comes just a week after authorities freed 99 others, bringing the total to 187 prisoners released in 2 weeks. The government says the move is part of a case review ordered by President Nicolas Maduro. However, rights groups estimate around 900 political prisoners remain in detention, a claim the government denies as international pressure on Caracas continues to mount. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, I am Peñano. Good day.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.